Welcome, Devils fans, to my home.
Welcome to the 2021. Welcome to the 2023 Summit.
Come on in. We're about to get started.
Welcome to Cardiff, Marcus Crawford.
Welcome back, number 96, Cole Stanford.
Welcome back to the Cardiff Devils, Trevor Cox.
We love God! In goal, I want to announce Karen Colden.
Wow, that's aggressive. That's aggressive.
Hello, Devils fans.
Welcome.
Welcome to the 2024 Summit. Come on in. This is my beautiful wife, Krista, and our dog, Bauer. We all welcome you into our house. Come on, Ba. Hope everyone's had a good summer so far. Fortunately, today we got beautiful weather, so we are lucky. Come on out. I have some owners to introduce you guys to, like you don't know them already. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in Calgary today. The sun is shining. After our meeting, everyone knows Steve.
Buenos dias.
Hey guys, Mr. Kelly, Coach Pete, second year. Thanks for everything, Pete.
Hey, Cardiff.
I don't have to introduce Brian. Everyone knows who Brian is. So later on tonight, we're having a dinner, probably in the next couple of hours here. If you look over here, going to be playing a few games later on tonight, maybe a little tournament. Devils Cornhole all the way. Now for the better half of all the ownership. We come down to the patio here.
Cheers. Cheers.
We're just relaxing.
Hey guys, proud to announce a signing this afternoon. Not quite as impactful as when he signed as the first player for the entire franchise, the Vegas Golden Knights, but tremendously excited to bring Reed Duke on board. Played in Germany last year, great skater, big shot. Expect him to play top six, power play, score a bunch of goals, big hitter. He's gonna be a big part of our lineup. Welcome to the team, Reed. Thank you.
Hello, Cardiff. I'm here to talk to you about a big, solid D-man, 6'2", 212 pounds. He's got a heavy shot. He protects the net. He's 25 years old. He's a smart kid. He went to ASU, and after that, he took his master's at Connecticut. After playing in college, he played in the East Coast and American Hockey Leagues. And you know, after 10 years, I know a little bit about the Welsh like. They like an honest player. They like a gritty player. They're like a team player. They're going to like Jared Gurley, our new D-man.
All right, Devil fans, we interrupt this game for another player announcement. We are so pleased to announce today this player was drafted in the first round of the NHL by the Vancouver Canucks. Then he got traded to our Calgary Flames. Then he made his way over to Europe, played in the DEL, the KHL, now the EIHL. We're so happy to announce today, great hands, Hunter Shinkarik. Welcome to the Devils.
So, 10th anniversary team. You analyze
the championships that we've won, and there was a common denominator of guys that we brought in that really made a massive difference to our play on the ice. And it was typically a big, no-nonsense, stay-at-home defenseman with NHL games on his resume. So happy to announce that we've landed that kind of guy for this year's team. I think we were really missing that last year. And the guy that we brought in is a guy I've been talking to now literally for 7 years about joining the Devils. We finally have him. His name is Andrew McWilliam, former captain at North Dakota. Actually, he captained former Devil favorite Ben Blood there at North Dakota. Played with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's spent a lot of time in the AHL. This is a guy that's captain material everywhere he's been. But the biggest thing about Mac is he is a destroyer. One of the best open ice hitters in hockey. Gets the crease cleared, so Carruth and Boundsy will be very happy with this signing. This guy that's coming to us from Red Bull Munich, so a real premium signing and the exact kind of guy that I think leads the team to championships. So 6'2", 225, no nonsense destroyer. Welcome to the Devils, Andrew McWilliam.
Pete Russell, head coach of the Cardiff Devils. It's your second summit. Walk me through the week so far.
Well, we go on a flight, fly over, and we go to land, get changed into some clothes you shouldn't be wearing in this heat, and then go to Steve King's office party. But they know how to have a good party for sure, so that's, usually, if you think about it, that usually goes to about 7 o'clock at night, and really that's like 3 o'clock in the morning at home, I think, or something like that. Then we go to Brian Parker's party, and then that goes a bit longer. So usually by that point, it's a funny way to start something. It's your job, but it's a fun way, I guess, as well.
So you're 3 days into it, so I guess you've had a lot of stampeding here in Calgary, and a bit of work too. Earlier today, you laid out the team to the ownership group and broke down each individual player. So the fans will want to know, like, with these 4 final signings, talk about the team that you've built this year and where you think maybe you've built or improved from last season.
I mean, firstly, I think we had a great team last season. Some guys didn't come back for different reasons. Some, Sani went to Germany. 3 guys aren't playing. And then we made some changes. We flipped a few things because it was the right thing to do with the depth of the team. But what we tried to create was we kept the core. There was a core at the bottom end, and we really liked them. They come to play every night. So we kept those guys, and we wanted to build around it. We got Joey Martin to play for another year, which was really important as well. We wanted that. And then from there, the first signing we had was Brett Perlini. I've known Brett for a long time. I trust him. He can play anywhere on the lineup, really. He's a really good player. He's a great British player for us. He's been great in the national team. He's going to add to us. He's experienced. And then it was always a player I always wanted. When I was in Germany, it was Zach O'Brien. And having Mr. Donaghy help with that as his best friend. So we're on O'Brien for a long time. And then Obi decided to come, and O'Brien's going to be a point getter. He's going to replace one of the top guys we lost, unfortunately. But O'Brien's going to bring a new style to the team. Super talented. Then Hunter Shkerik's name came up, and I spoke to Steve. Steve had mentioned him before, then Steve went to work on him, and then I spoke to Hunter, and between us all we got that one done as well. And I think that was another really good addition to the team. He's played in the highest leagues. He's super talented. He's good down low in the zone, does a lot of different things. He's got amazing hands, he's got a really good shot as well. People see that. So happy to get Hunter. Then we moved on to the next line, and then we're moving about a little bit, trying to find what we wanted. And then I contacted one of my old players just out of the blue to see what he'd say, and Josh McDonald. And then it's always good to get guys that's played for you. And Josh was really interested. He wanted to try something new, so with his partner. And Josh has come, and Josh is a great, really good skater, good hands, crazy stuff at the park, really good shot, and he works hard, and he's just a good human being as well. So that really helped us massively. And then we moved on to Reid Duke. Reid Duke was in the black box. My agent's the same agent as him at the time, and we'd talked about him before. But he had some other things. He went to Germany, and then again, I found out Donny knew him, so I got on Donny to get on him, and I think between Donny and I going after him for a little while, Reid decided to come here. There was other interest in him. We managed to get Reid Duke, and he's got a really good shot, like a great shot. He's a really good skater, and he can play real heavy. He's going to bring a lot of energy to the team for sure. And then we got Cohen. Cohen was Olszewski was in the DL last year. I watch a lot of DL hockey still. Enjoy watching the German hockey. And then what happened there was I kind of connected him and Barrow together. So I got on Brian Barrow and I got him to get on him, and then we talked a few times from March, him and I, Cohen, and he did a lot of good offers around Europe, and then we talked about the whole country and the situation with life, and his wife can work, and we talked about the team here, and all of a sudden when I said there was one spot left, the next day he wanted to sign, so we're glad to get him as well. He's going to add to the team. So that was our forward group, full with obviously Dougie, Benny, Riley, Bushy and Barrow, and it's good 12 people right there to start our offence off. Then the defence came, and the defence was an area that we lost a couple of guys in. Bodie went to Germany, River went another way, then of course Crow's going to stay at home now. We like Crow, had a great relationship with him as well, but Crow decided he wanted to stay in North America with his family. So we had some holes to fill there, but firstly, to keep Mosey was awesome, to keep Donny was awesome. They're two high energy guys on and off the ice. They come to play for the team every night. Obviously we get Batchy and Richie, two GB internationalists. Batchy played really well last year from Christmas time on. Richie's just Richie, he's just Mr. Dependable. He does a great job for the team, he's been here for a long time. So then we wanted to add, I wanted to add something bigger, with a bit more balance, maybe a bit grittier. And we wanted another guy, good skater with good speed. And then through you, I got talking to Forney when he was here, and I met him for a coffee, and then we had a really good conversation. I knew you'd talk to him, and Forney decided it was the right thing for him, so I know we got the deal done. So Forney's still a great player, really, really good player. I think he's probably better defensively now. He's playing in a league that he had to play a different way, but he's still got that speed, he's still got that quick shot to the net. He can take the puck up the ice. He's a high competitive guy, so it's unreal to get him. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. And then there was the next guy was Andrew McWilliam. He's just a dominator defensively. He's a real guy, takes pride in doing the little things. Great penalty killer, shot blocker, makes a lot of big hits. He's just a great addition. He's what I think we needed to try and be better than the great decor we had last year. And then the next one came was Jared Goalie, and Jared's another player that I think can be dominating physically. I think he's got that in his game. He plays hard, he can make some nice plays. He's a defence first guy. He seems to be a great character. So I think if you add that round, the way we've mixed it in, we have more left shots this year with the balance of the right shots, which should help us as well. So I hope we'll decor, which done a really great job last year, we'll decor this year. I hope it's going to be better. I hope it's going to be different, but it's going to be better. And then the last part, we kept Bouncy, of course. Bouncy's another Cardiff guy through and through. He's his GB internationals. I've known him for I don't know how long, half my life probably. He's played for me in the national team, so he had a great season last year. He's done really, really well. He knows the system. And we wanted to bring another goalie, and I wanted somebody really competitive. And then Matt Carruth's name came up again. I met him when we played in the Continental Cup final. We got talking, and I kind of tapped him up a little bit and asked him what he thought, and he seemed interested. And then we have the same agent, and some things happened in Herning, and we managed to. There was other teams interested as well, and he was really excited about coming back to Cardiff. He really liked it here. It's just the way things fell, I think, at that time. But now we have a great goalie tandem, and I think it's going to be awesome. They can battle it out. Do you know what I mean? I think that's important that they can battle it out. But if you look at that, I think we have a real good depth. I'll repeat, I thought we had a really good team last year. I want to thank all those players. They gave everything. You know what I mean? We were close in every area, but sometimes things change and have changed, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's awesome. You and the owners have backed it, to try and put a really good team together again, because it's not easy in the transfer market right now, and I think we've done a really good job to get the team for what we've put out there, and I think it's really exciting for everybody. They should be really excited. I think we're going to have the energy we had last year, and I think we're a little bit bigger as well.
And what's your take on the league? It seems that, in my opinion, across the league, teams have really improved.
what do you think of the way the teams, the competition's building up?
I think the league this could be the best league there's been in a long time. Belfast were a team to catch. I've wanted to catch them. Well, we caught Belfast, so did Sheffield, and then Sheffield took it to another level. Do you know what I mean? They just took it to a level. It was crazy level last year. They deserved everything they got. They were the most complete and consistent team. But I think people are pushing out to try and get there. As you can see, Belfast look like Keeser's done a great job. You can see it, him and Steve. You can see the team they've put together. Nottingham, Pasha and Danny are doing a great job as well. Looks like they've upped everything a level there. Guildford, really solid, deep team. Glasgow are going to be better with Corey there. Corey's one of my best friends. He's a great coach. He's going to make that team better. Fife, he does a good job in Fife. He keeps putting good teams together, Tom, and he's putting a good team together. You can just go through the whole league. We could talk about every team, what Finner does, but I think this league is going to be really tough next year. And my hope is that teams do beat each other. Because if that happened last year, that would have been an unbelievable finish to that league. Because Belfast came hot at the end as well. Do you know what I mean? And if we get a league like that, I think it's a really exciting season coming up.
Yeah, it's you coached here a few years ago. You coached originally for Glasgow and Milton Keynes, and then coming back last year. It's definitely a different league. You see a lot more, I think, quality coaches coaching in this league now. The return of Corey Nielsen, who we've always rated really highly, and yourself, and you got Kiefer and Danny and Paul Dixon and Aaron Fox, obviously the job he did in Sheffield. Tons of talent behind the benches here.
I think this is the most underrated league in the Europe. I really believe that. I don't know everything about Europe, but you learn a little bit when you go away. But every night was tough. You had to find ways. Do you know what I mean? And everybody was detailed and dialed in. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think there's a lot of great coaches that work hard in this league. You play back to back, so there's no day off in between like Europe to get your stuff together. You got to do it all and get it done. You're working hard. Same as the players. It's never easy, but if you put the coaches and the recruitment together in this whole league right now, I can see why the attendances have went up everywhere. There's a real buzz about this league. Players here are leaving so-called better leagues in this to come to this league. There's a reason for that. There is a reason for that, and I think that it's going to be. When I was in Glasgow, I thought the league was good that year, Todd. That was a really good league that year. But I think now this league could be very close to being the best it's ever been.
Final thing, just a message to the fans. You're heading into your second year. Cardiff. You've known Cardiff your whole life, but you've seen the fan base and the turnout every single week at Vindigo Arena. The last thing I kind of want to finish on is just a message to the fans.
I think it was great last year. You stuck with us, and it was new for me. Really different. You want to please everybody and you want to give them what they want. You want to win every game, and it's impossible to win every game. Really impossible. But I think what we said earlier in the meeting, I feel like the owners and you, Katrina and Corky, everybody around the rink, and the coaches and the players are coming together. And I think the fans have got to stay with us. Do you know what I mean? We want to create some synergy there because it's a really exciting team, but this is going to be a hell of a league, and I'm really excited about it, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's more, your second year, you're kind of getting your handle on things, a little bit. And I think I learned a lot about the league last year. I really did. And there's maybe a couple of things I'd change at times when it's required. But I think we've got so much to look forward to. We get all the cups at home. We're on the Continental Cup again. We want to be better this time. Do you know what I mean? We want to try and do even better than that this time. We want to find a way this time. But I think the biggest thing is just sticking together. The Cardiff fans are awesome. If I think of some games last year, the Sheffield game at home, the game against Katazice at home in the Continental Cup, the Belfast game, the atmosphere in there was just off the wall. So I hope we can get you up off your seats and you guys can have that most nights, and it'll be an awesome season.
Thanks, Pete. Steve King. It's almost 10 years to the day, maybe a couple weeks after 10 years anniversary of that very first event that we did in that little theater connected to Cardiff City Hall. Take me back there, and what were your memories of that first?
That did not feel like a little theater to me. So I was on a boys trip. Me and 3 friends were in Scotland trying to golf all the different British Open courses in Scotland, and you gave me a call. The deal's gone through. You're so close anyways. Can you just hop on a plane and come to Cardiff? And I'm gonna rent a place and you can talk to the fans. I'm going, what the hell am I gonna say? And so I walk in there and the place is jammed. It's standing room only. I go up onto the stage. Luckily I had something reasonable to wear on a golf trip that I could bring to Cardiff. And Terry Phillips, God bless him, comes on the stage and starts interviewing me. And what the hell do I know? I mean, I've never owned a hockey team before. And but he was great. The fans were unbelievable. I remember pretty distinctly, I got, the best standing ovation I've ever had. That I certainly at that point didn't deserve, still don't. And then they announced Bouncy, and it was like a smattering of applause. There was nothing there for Bouncy. His mom didn't even stand up. His mom stood up for me. It was unbelievable. So I've talked to Bouncy about that ever since. But it was such a cool night. And I said what I meant. And to this day, 10 years later, it's about winning. It's always been about winning. I said that night. I still say it today. All these guys feel the same way. This has never been a source of income for us. We're here to win. We're here to have fun. And we've got the best fans in the league to do that with. And so it's still 10 years later. I still feel the exact same way I did that night in that theater. And what a memory.
Talk about first things, Kelly. What about that first game, your first game in Cardiff when you guys flew over? It was probably about a month into the season in 2014-15. What do you remember about that night?
Yeah, it was October. We played Hull, and even before the first game, it was the first practice. So if you remember, Todd, I flew in from Paris with my wife and my oldest boy. Patrick was only about a year old at the time. Got in Wednesday night. We went out for dinner, and then Thursday I came to practice, and Joey Martin, Joey Haddad, Andrew Lord. I texted these guys mid-skate. I was so impressed by the skill level of the league, the pace at which the players practice, and Lordo put them through the paces. Just tremendously impressive with the skill level of the team. And then the next day, the other guys got in, and we played Hull, and the building was electric. It was packed. The passion was there. It was loud. This is obviously in the big blue tent, and it was something I'll never forget. The game was never close. We did a lap after the win. That was Steve's idea.
The inaugural
first lap around the rink. But let's go. I remember it was like it was yesterday. It was I can't believe it's been 10 years. It's been so much fun. We've had such great success, and really feel like we've set the table for even further acclimation to success here.
Brian, keeping on with that first year, you and Craig, along with Steve, you came over for that Challenge Cup game. I think we took maybe 1,500 people in buses there from Cardiff.
Yeah.
Talk me through that. What do you remember of that first Challenge Cup win?
Well, some would say I don't remember anything, but they'd be wrong because I kept my stick on the ice the whole time. But it started right from the get-go, right? Like, we had no idea what we were in for with the whole Cardiff experience. The way Steve was overwhelmed when he first came out of the stage to talk to fans, we had no idea the depth and passion and support that we had. And so when bus after bus after bus was going from Cardiff to Sheffield, we got on the bus, and it was just the coolest experience. So we're at the front of the bus, we're singing Delilah. The whole bus is singing along. We're like, this is going to be a good day.
The goal helmets.
Yeah, we had goal helmets flashing. So we get to the game, and they thought obviously we were a classier group of people than we actually are. They put us up in the owner's box, and it was about 5 minutes in the game. It's like, what are we doing here? We got to get out of here. So we went down with the fans, running around like idiots. And then I felt like it was a combination of your kid winning a city championship, the Stanley Cup, Major League Baseball, like Super Bowl, all combined in one. We won that Challenge Cup. We ran on that ice, and I looked up at the top of the rafters at all those ridiculous orange balloons that Sheffield had up there that they were going to drop, that never got to. And then we celebrated. Boy, did we celebrate. And we've been celebrating ever since. Awesome.
Yeah, just adding to what Brian said, that was probably one of my best trips. It just blew me away by the support. I didn't realize, I think there's 10 buses that went up there, which blew me away. And we were doing interactive stuff with the other buses and doing contests on the way up. And then when we got there, we all kind of conglomerated around this certain little pub, and the Devils fans took it over. and then away we went to the game, and I was literally blown away. And we weren't expected to win. Like, we were heavy underdogs, and we pulled off the victory, and it just adds more to our fuel to keep the championships and wins coming. So I loved it.
So Shasti, when we're back in Sheffield, do you stay at that same hotel still?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
I'm not sure we'll go back. Our celebrations went pretty long enough.
Yeah, that was quite the night.
I think
Everyone had a lot of fun.
I think everyone had a lot of fun and went to bed. Well, maybe didn't go to bed. One guy did go to bed, and he's been mad ever since at us that we celebrated too hard, because we came in the same team on the Wednesday, and we lost 11-1. I think it's part of the lore of the Cardiff Devils. But
So I don't know if I could quickly add to it. So I'm not talking out of turn here. So one of our great Devil players that the fans loved, Pigsy, he got sent back to his room, and he'd make his way back down to the lobby for beer. He'd get sent up back to the room, he'd come back down. So that was kind of the ongoing joke that night.
So I mentioned Lordo. Steve, why don't you touch on the impact that Andrew Lord had after a decade here? I know it's been a few years since he's been with us, but talk about the impact Andrew Lord had on us.
You can't talk about our 10 years without Lordo. Like, what a stroke of brilliance that Neil, the franchise Francis, had when he recommended Lordo be our coach. But even Franny didn't know what we were getting into. So literally the most dedicated, hardest working person I've met in any walk of life, I think, and a guy that you would just want to back no matter what he was doing, to a fault. Like, he was so intense, and so few players, so few people could match that intensity, but it worked. And every detail of the club, from travel arrangements, food, you name it, every face-off had a play that he called out. And just an incredible guy. That the amount of work that gets put into that by him can't be understated. So we were just so blessed to have Lordo. From the four of us, our point of view, he also was and still is just a great friend, and a guy that you just want to hang out with. This was always his favorite weekend of the year. I know he really misses the Stampede and hanging out with us, so we're thinking of you, Lordo, having a great time without you. You've moved on, we've moved on, but you'll always be missed, and you'll always be our friend, and so much of what the Devils are today is because of him.
All right, I'm going to ask you a tough question, each of you.
Joey Martin.
All right, I'm going to say your favorite player, your favorite Devils player of all time. I'm going to start with Parker.
I'm going to say Joey Martin. And it's funny because I'm a little jealous because Kelly actually saw him play first. When he was there that first day, I was texting back and forth. We were so excited about the team. We're like, tell me about all the players. Who stands out? What's going on? He goes, Joey Martin. Who I'm not sure where he was stacked or where he was supposed to be in the roster because the team was put together so quick. But it's like, this guy's the best guy in this. And that was a great team. And so, and he was all that. And, we got over there, skilled, team guy, block shots, whatever has to be done to win. And just an awesome human being. So, we have a lot of other great guys and great people, great players. But Joey Martin has always been the guy that I look at and I go, that's a Cardiff Devil.
Shasti?
Oh boy, that's a hard one, Todd. That's a hard one.
I'll make it easy for you. Your favorite player?
No, I've got one, but I'm just saying
it can't be on the current roster.
Okay, we've had some great players throughout the years. I really loved the way Lane Ulmer played. He was, he wasn't the fastest guy. He didn't have the hardest shot, but he got us big goals. He was the big goal guy during his run with the Devils. I just really enjoy the way he played. He put everything he had into the Devils, and we were able to win a championship with him. So he'd probably would be my guess.
Saskatchewan boy, harder than that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, hard worker.
Kelly?
I did hear you say they can't be on the current roster, but I would argue that he isn't currently on the roster yet. But Gleason Fournier was a defenseman that played with us and just pushed the puck out of our zone consistently. There's something special about defensemen that you can trust with the puck, that get it out of your zone all the time, join the play, beautiful skater, and I'm so excited to have him back. I think it's a test to what the fans have done for us and the tradition we've built. We've had a number of guys. Joey Martin's another one that went away to play somewhere else and realized how great a situation we have in Cardiff. And to have Gleason back, I think he'll just be an absolute stalwart on the back end, defensively, offensively, pushing the puck all the time, on the power play, running the top of the umbrella. He's a wonderful hockey player, and so excited to have him back.
And one of the biggest goals ever scored.
Yes, Devils history, absolutely,
yeah,
for sure.
Mr. King?
Okay, because I got last choice, I get 2.
I was gonna say I need another one.
Nope.
He's making up rules.
One from current, one from past. The one from the past, Andrew Hotham. You cannot talk about the Cardiff Devils
100%.
and the
That was
championships
going to be
we won.
that was my number 2.
Yeah. So Hoth, if you ask Lurdo who his least favorite practice player was of all time, it was Andrew Hotham. The guy hated to practice, didn't really love to train, but I tell you, when the lights came on and the bigger the game, the more Hoth came out there, and he controlled the puck, couldn't skate worth a lick, but he controlled the puck better than anybody, scored the big goals, and holy cow, could he throw the knuckles. Like, for a middleweight guy, he was one of the sneaky best fighters we've ever had, and he would just lose it on guys. And I love that kind of player. The other one that not enough people talk about, to be quite honest, when you talk about the number of championship trophies we won, I don't know if we would have won any of them without Ben Bounds.
Agreed. Yeah.
And Boundsy is a Cardiff Devil through and through, and this club means so much to him. And even when he was away, he was texting me about how much he wanted to come back, and the right kind of players for the team and all of that. And so him and Jade are just wonderful people. As a lot of like, he would come to Calgary and stay with us and train in his early days, and just became a part of the family. And again, you cannot talk Cardiff Devils without Ben Bounds.
Well put.
I want to throw something in on Andrew Hotham. Lordo would never play him in the last minute of a close game because Hotham would just go kick the shit out. Oh, so can I say that?
Yeah.
There'll be some editing.
Yeah, so you'd have to make sure, like, to control his aggression, because he was always such a gamer and he was such a player. So you don't get guys like that too often.
All right, well, Kelly, Steve said we wouldn't have won potentially any of the championships without Ben's Mounds. We would have won one, because there was a year that Ben wasn't here and Matt Caruth had backstopped us to a playoff championship. So we're going to shift into the guys that are coming in this year. And you can start with Caruth or you can start with someone else. Who excites you the most about this season? Well, this is season 11 of our ownership.
Yeah, I think I can speak for the guys. It's, for me, the most exciting incoming class we've ever had. Full credit to Steve. These relationships are built over time, and you don't get a guy just by calling him and saying, "Hey, do you want to come this year?" Sometimes it takes some convincing, and the age and the stage has to be right, and the opportunity for us to be able to offer guys opportunities to play as much as they want. So Andrew McWilliam and I grew up in the same neighborhood here in Calgary. Hunter Shakarik played for the Flames, so know him very well. Matt Caruth, like, we know how good a goaltender he is and how intense of a competitor he is. To have that confidence in him returning to us and going to bring that passion that he brings to the rink every day, and he's a leader on and off the ice. The incoming class this year is I think our strongest of the last 11 seasons. Like Reed Duke, first guy the Vegas Golden Knights ever signed. It's tremendous, and certainly very proud of this class we're bringing in, and I think the fans can be tremendously pleased with how the roster looks opening day at camp.
Shasti.
Yep.
Kinger talked about the impact Andrew Lord had on the organization. I'm going to change the focus to the current coach coming in for his second year. We went through a bit of a turnstile there for a couple of years with coaches.
Yeah.
Talk about Pete and what you think he can bring in his second year here to as head coach of the Devils.
You know what, Pete is a great guy, and I know we've gone through a few coaches in the last number of years, and maybe we didn't have the success last year that we might have wanted, but I'm 100% positive Pete is the right choice for our team. He is his standard is high for our players, and he expects a lot out of them, and I think he learned a lot, even though he's coached in different leagues and has a lot of experience. I think he learned a lot last year, dealing with players and situations. I've got to know Pete over the last year, and he's a solid guy, and I'm very confident we're going to have a successful year with Pete.
Brian, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, the great thing about Pete, I mean, he's a great guy, great character, but like anybody coming into the organization, I mean, half of the kind of roster was already picked. Last year really wasn't his team. I feel like this year we've kept the players he loves. We've added to that with players that can play his style. So he's a very good coach. He's got a good structure. The players we're bringing in are they're awesome players. I mean, Kelly kind of rattled off a bunch of these great guys. I didn't mention Zach O'Brien, right? Number one, for those of you who don't know Canada, Newfoundland is the character of the people there is fantastic. We had Donahue, you guys have a taste of that. O'Brien's the same type of guy. I think that's going to be a real good ad for us this year. And these are the type of players, we talked about the relationships that Steve has kind of nurtured a bunch. We brought a bunch of these guys in, but these are all kind of Pete type of players. So I think they're going to be able to play a fast, exciting style of game. They're going to be honest and responsible players. They're not going to be guys that, you have to kind of push to play aggressively. So I think Pete's going to be a great coach this year, and the team is Pete's team. So that's the exciting part for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. We signed Zach O'Brien so long ago. You almost forget to mention him when you're excited, because you get more excited about the guys you sign late. But Zach O'Brien is a lot of teams talking about him for sure. We've been going for a while here. I think we should finish it up and wrap it up with a message to the fans. It's been a decade, Steve, and fans always question ownership. Are they still committed? Or do they still have the same passion? Do they still talk about the Devils? Do they care about the Devils? What do you say to that?
Our passion is so much greater now than it was 10 years ago. We didn't really know what we were getting into 10 years ago. And I said to somebody the other day, I actually have no idea what I would do without the Devils in my life. That's where it is for me.
Kelly?
Yeah, I've had my oldest son's been over twice. We took our youngest, Brendan, up to Nottingham for the playoffs this past spring. Skated with the team a couple times. He wears his Devils hoodie almost every day. It's a part of our family. It's a part of our life. Steve was the catalyst to this, and it's a big part of my family. And I couldn't be prouder, or maybe more importantly, more excited to be a part of what we're building. And it's just been so much fun. And I'm sincere in saying that, having Pete coming back for a second year, to Brian's point, this is his team. We've got a tremendously exciting incoming class, and the bar's been set. The expectations are met. Guys know what to do and where we're going to go. And I think this year, our 11th year, is just going to be an absolutely tremendously exciting year for the fans.
Mr. Parker?
Yeah, many of you may not ascribe maturity to my kind of behavior.
Any of ours.
But I would say, Steve made a heck of a point. When we first got involved with the Devils, it was just kind of this wild excitement. It's like you're an 18-year-old running around like a lunatic. And then over time, you just things slow down a bit for you, but then you start to appreciate things that really matter. And the Devils really matter to me. Like half of my clothes are Devils clothes. All of my vacations usually involve a stop in Wales. Many great friendships or relationships with the people on the team like yourself, Todd, and Pete, and Katrina. Like, these are great relationships that matter to me. And like, this is not just like I don't know. It might have started off as we didn't even really know what we were getting into, but now we all know what it is. We value it, and we're not too mature, but there's a maturity to that relationship, and we're not going anywhere. Well, we love this too much.
Final word on the day. You're the host, Craig.
Oh, what a day. What a day. The last 10 years have been just a whirlwind. If it wasn't for the Devils, I wouldn't have met two of mine I consider my best friends now. It's I'm just so fortunate to be part of the Devils family. And you know, every year it's a different year, getting new players, and it's tough to win championships. There's no doubt about it. Hopefully we've got the right pieces in place this year where we're going to pull through. It's all about the fans, and it's been that way from the very first game I went to. I was blown away by how the passion that you guys have, and we do it for you guys. That's what it's all about. We love you guys.
All right, we're going to sign off from Calgary.
See you guys.
2024 Summit.
See you guys soon.
See you in Wales.
See you in October.
To the Shostaks, the most elaborate summit we've ever had. Totally befitting 10th anniversary. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
That might have been a little much.
10 years.
But it's all good.
Cheers.